Cats, what's happening? Man, it is a muggy, hot day here in Ohio. Probably in the 90s. People are out riding today, and we're fixing to take the bike out here in just a little bit. Now, I haven't seen it in some time here, but these guys used to have these stickers they put on the back window of their trucks or their cars. No fear. No fear. What did that mean? Does that mean that you're trying to convince yourself that you're not afraid? And what are you afraid of if that's the case? You know, I'm going to talk about riding the motorcycle here a little bit because just bring to mind the incident that happened just a week or so ago where 7 motorcyclists from the Jarhead Motorcycle Club were killed by a guy that was drinking and ran them down in a pickup truck. I don't know that they were expecting anything like that. They were riding in a group, and from what I understand, they were pretty close to their destination where they were headed. And just like that, boom, they were gone. You know, in this day and age, it's getting more and more dangerous to ride on a motorcycle. So let me ask you this, when you hear stories like that, does that begin to put a little fear in your heart about going out on the road and riding? I don't know about you, but it does make me double think. And I think, you know, that when we do go out and ride, we need to be extremely cautious. We need to be extremely careful. We need to have eyes in the back of our head, and we need to watch out all the time. I don't think we need to be afraid, but we do need to be very concerned about the traffic on the road nowadays, and there's a lot of it. You know, every year that goes by, the traffic increases, which makes our odds even worse of being involved in a traffic accident. With the use of cell phones nowadays, you know, people are always on their phone, yakking, talking, texting while they're driving. Not good, very dangerous. They're totally inattentive to what's going on. The biker has to be 10 times more attentive to his surroundings than most people will ever be in a vehicle. Now, I wish I could talk to everybody that drives a vehicle, as the bikers call it, a cage. I wish I could speak to all of them about the concerns of keeping our roads safe for us motorcyclists, that we don't become injured. I think you guys know back in the early 2000s, I was run off the road by a drunk driver at night. Came up the ramp and he just ran right into me, knocked me right off the road. And lucky he didn't kill me. I'm lucky that I survived that one. But even then, you know, I didn't even see that coming. I didn't even see it coming. And that's usually the case. It doesn't matter how hard you look, how hard you prepare yourself. A lot of times you don't see it coming. So, should we be afraid? I think we should have a healthy fear of riding. Maybe fear isn't the word, because people that are afraid tend to be overly cautious and then nervous, and that can cause situations too. You know, some people may even consider giving up riding, unfortunately, because of this. You know, age has a little bit to do with it too. The older you get, the slower your senses are and your reactions. I got friends that just threw in the towel, wrapped up, sold their bikes, and they said, we're done, you know. Gonna quit while we're ahead. No sense taking chances anymore on the road. They're, you know, about my age too. I'm not ready to throw in the towel, but I am concerned about the conditions of riding out on the road nowadays. And it does become very heavy on my mind each time I take the bike out. You know, a guy recently that I was in contact with mentioned about the new wave of vehicles that, you know, when you get on the highway, they pretty much drive themselves. You can let go of the steering wheel and it stays right in the lane, and it recognizes if you're getting too close to a vehicle and it automatically slows down. They don't recognize motorcycles, though. So the future of the highway may ban motorcycles off the highway because of that reason, because if you ride on the highway, you're taking a risk of getting run over by one of these auto vehicles that just have no driver. You know, the driver's laying back reading a book or sleeping or something. How's that going to work? I don't think that people in motor vehicles really understand the vulnerability of us bikers when we're on the road. I don't think they understand that they need to give us some room. How many times have you seen a motorcycle on the road and a car right on their tail? I mean, right on their tail. What's the guy in the vehicle, the car or truck, what are they thinking? You know, if you rear end somebody on a motorcycle, it can be really bad. It can be very ugly. I mean, we see so many infractions today on the road. A lot of friends have gone down, been in accidents, lost some friends, and some of them are missing some arms or legs as a result. Now, if I could speak to the younger crowd, you know, they don't have as much fear and reservations as older folks do. I've been around, I've been on the bike for many years, and I've experienced all kinds of things, including, you know, a few accidents where I got injured. Nothing really serious, but enough that it hurt. And, you know, I learned the hard way. These young kids like to go out and rip and rear around, you know, doing the wheelies, the twisties, laying them into the corners. Been there, done that. And I'm going to tell you something about the twisties and the corners. I've had a couple good scares on that too, and that slowed me down quite a bit on taking corners. I was out riding one day, and it started raining pretty hard, and was going into a tight turn, and leaned into the turn and actually hydroplaned all the way across the other lane. There was nothing I could do but hold the bike up because it was sliding, and I went off the road and through the ditch and up on this bank and came back down, landed back on the road fortunately, and was able to pull off on the berm and kind of shake my shorts out a little bit. But, you know, that was one. A couple other times, I don't know. The one time I remember going into a turn down a grade, and I leaned into the turn, and I don't know if it was loose gravel or oil on the road or something, but the back end went out on me, and you know, and then it grabs and it snaps you back in, and I actually shot left to center. And that's pretty scary. Luckily, there was no cars coming the other way. So, and then a couple other incidents were similar, but in all the years I've been riding, those incidents have, you know, given me a healthy fear of tight turns. So I'm not so daring to go leaning into turns anymore. I just take my time and roll through it nicely, comfortably, to where I can enjoy the ride and still come back in one piece without bashing my bike all up at the same time. What do you think? What's your idea of riding? Do you fear riding? No fear? Courageous? You just say, hey, I'm gone, I'm hitting the road, and I'm riding, I don't care what happens. Or do you have that that good sound sense of, I gotta watch, I gotta have eyes behind my head, I gotta watch everything, because that's the way you need to be. As my friend Backroad Biker on YouTube suggested, a little scripture, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. If we believe in a higher power to protect us, then that's what I'm going to use too, for that extra insurance, you know, that I'm going to have a safe ride today. If you haven't yet, click the like button. Well, the thumbs up, the like button, not the thumbs down. Some of you still give me a thumbs down. every single time, but that's all right. I'll take that because I get more thumbs up than anything. Share it with your friends if you like it. Let's get some discussion going. And be sure to subscribe if you haven't, because I got a lot more videos for you. I'll keep them coming. Well, I'm going to head in the house and find my wife and see if she's ready to go, and then we're going to fire the scooter up and we're going to head out to hook up with some friends. So, till next time, cats, ride hard and die free.